The live audience boos furiously. In an awkward on-air moment, host Mark Consuelos repeatedly shades wife Kelly Ripa. When the most recent episode of Live began, the couple discussed cricketing. Cricketing, according to Kelly, is the art of rubbing your feet together before bed, like a cricket. She also stated that it is scientifically supported and comparable to the effects of acupuncture on the body. I tend to cricket against you, she admitted to Mark, 52. I cricket my legs up against Mark's legs. We did a bed segment on the show, and I'm so used to cricketing against Mark, she added with a laugh. The bed segment was with Ryan Seacrest and Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell was in Mark's position in the bed and I started cricketing my legs against his. He was like, "Kelly, that's weird," the live host added with a sheepish grin. She didn't understand what Jerry was talking about at the time. Then I realized, I was cricketing my legs against Jerry's legs, because I'm so used to cricketing in the bed, against whoever's to my left. That's when Mark chimed in with a comment of his own, which is dangerous, especially in the fall, when things are dry. "BQs if you don't shave, you can start a fire," he said with a smug expression. Kelly looked smug for a moment and had nothing to say, clearly incensed. She was grinning, but she was still silent. Meanwhile, her husband began cheering. Mark was clearly trying to get ahead of Kelly's ire as he continued to goad her. "You could be a survivalist. You could do that Warrior SEAL team show that they have on," he told her. But his wife glared at him before she decided to reply. "It's a good thing that you never have stubble anywhere," she told him. "But I don't cricket," Mark confirmed. "Maybe I snuggle. I feel that I may be snuggling less this weekend," the live anchor said, seemingly ashamed. The crowd erupted with laughter as Mark and Kelly discussed the act of cricketing. Near the end of the discussion, Mark had yet another comment to make that had the crowd continuing to boo him. "Make sure you change the batteries on your fire alarm," he warned the audience as they moved on to the next topic. That invited several more boos as Kelly landed a succinct rebuttal. "I am so looking forward to Mark's ice-cold weekend," Kelly joked as she ruffled the papers in front of her. She was referring to Mark dealing with her cold feet against his back. "She's in Kelly called a recent episode of Live the messiest ever following a mistake Mark made. Mark incorrectly said a sweepstakes contestant's name multiple times as Kelly rolled her eyes and sternly corrected him. On Friday's Live episode, Kelly and Mark held a contest for a lucky phone and contestant named Caroline. Kelly explained it was all-inclusive and prompted, "That means it includes Mark." Mark clunkily replied, "Everything, all of it," repeating what Kelly had just said. Kelly side-eyed her husband and explained further details instead, saying the prize was valued at $8,100. Caroline had to answer a trivia question in 20 seconds to get the vacation. Mark was about to read the question but said her name wrong. He said, "All right, Carolyn, here we go." "No, it's not fine, Carolyn," Kelly snapped and the audience went quiet. Over the phone, Caroline could be heard saying, "Caroline, but it's fine. My grandmother calls me Carolyn all the time." "It's fine," Mark said, "Carolyn," once more as if he missed the entire explanation. Kelly said, "No, it's not fine. It's Caroline," staring down her husband. "This is the messiest show we've ever had," the host added. Mark then read the question. "Earlier this week we talked to Michael C. Hall. What musical did Michael say he starred in and met the drummer in his band?" Caroline got it correct as Hedwig and the Angry Inch and won the Beaky Prize. Bad with names. Just days earlier on November 14th's episode, Mark seemingly forgot the name of the hockey player he was thinking of. Kelly and Mark went through some of the day's topics. Mark announced, "Very exciting news for Patrick Lundqvist." An unsure Kelly replied, "Okay." Mark had not given the correct name. He was referring to the Swedish former professional ice hockey goaltender Henrik Lundqvist. Mark seemed to realize his mistake and corrected himself, "Henrik Lundqvist." He added, "Who's Patrick?" Kelly seemed slightly concerned, asking her husband, "Are you okay?" Mark chuckled but answered, "No, I'm not okay." His exasperated wife continued, "He's been on this show. You've spoken to him." Mark quipped, "He's very handsome, too." He went on to announce the hockey player's induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame. After 6 years as Kelly's co-host, Mark took over as Ryan Seacrest's replacement on the chat show this season.